finals.
Into the top 3 we go, and into the match we go, as we have Rule 1 trying to get into the finals, and there's a bit at stake here, Psycho.
Yeah, there absolutely is, and it's a really, really crucial match, this one, for Rule 1, because if they do manage to take this here win, they only have to make top 2 in the next regional, which I know is quite the accomplishment by itself, but for a team of this caliber, that's certainly doable to make the major. And if they do lose this, winning the next regional is almost a must, I hear, Spooks.
It is, because if Falcons makes both finals, you just have to win it in the end. And that, I mean, for us, it would be awesome. Storylines and everything. Great. But for Rule 1, I think they probably would like and prefer the easier route. And that being making the top 2 right here, as we see the ball going into the middle. Once again, Rule 1 looking to set themselves up right away. And let's be honest here, with predictions, everyone is probably going to have Rule 1 winning this one.
Yeah, definitely so. Rule 1 are just one of these teams at the moment which have really just come alive, and I definitely think that was shown in that earlier Falcons matchup, even though Rule 1, of course, were eventually losing out in that very, very bitterly tight Game 7. They showed us a really electric performance, and against a Twisted Minds roster which I think came up against an opposition in that last matchup, Spooks, that maybe wasn't on the best of days. It's going to be so tricky for them.
The Minds just has to be hopeful that we see Rule 1 maybe a bit shaky and that they can break on through. But so far, Rule 1 has been looking cool as ever, as Senso hits the ball to the side. Double commit coming out from Twisted Minds. Ball into the corner, once again trying to get it into the middle. We see the passing play coming out from Rule 1. But Venom, no boost in the tank, but did find the touch.
Yeah, it's been casual work so far for Twisted Minds, who is so comfortable just time after time, for at least the time being, in getting this ball out of their own back lines, as individual efforts are the name of the game at the moment for Rule 1, as this ball is finally launched long to a teammate in orange. Maybe one more touch from Rawas, but simply wasn't meant to be.
Demo is open. It is open, all because of the demo, Psycho. Look at that.
What? That is crazy. That is rude. And that is a venomous little poach from the Twisted Minds attacker downfield. He was already in the final third before that clear even came through, Spooks.
Rule 1 has to crawl back right away from game number 1. But we saw Twisted Minds do it very well against Infinity the game before, the series before. But can they hold on themselves? Skillers is in an awkward position there, but the ball does end up going away. Rule 1 holding on strong right now. Denoir going into the air, looking for the solo. Can't set himself up. Maassen gets it away. Rawas, what can you do with this? Not too much either. Senso, just no control being found, and the demos are being found.
The demos are being found, and in numbers as well, as that's the second one that's been put away from Twisted Minds for a very similar reason. This time, some more doing some of the dirty work, really taking after his teammate from that previous goal.
And I actually like this out of Twisted Minds, coming out, going for more demos, being a bit more aggressive and in your face. Because you know you cannot play the same style you did against Infinity against Rule 1. Rule 1 is way more of a team than Infinity is, so you have to break them loose, create chaos, and those demos are doing exactly what they need to be doing right now. As Venom tries to get it into the middle, has to watch out on Killers, gets the under control, has the ball, has the flip, but not strong enough, not getting any power behind his attack.
Yeah, not that time around, but it was a really promising little dart forward from Kalias there, which really could have disrupted that rhythm that Twisted Minds had gathered early on. That's a beautiful collection in the skies by Kalias. They're just forcing the opponents to wait out and see what happens, but by then, it's simply too late, Spooks.
The gift that keeps on giving, Kalir, showing once again why he's such a good player, why he's such a mechanical wonder on Rule 1. And showing, I mean, the entirety of Rule 1 is a mechanical wonder, let's be honest here, but the Twins doing it once again. This ball going to the side. Rawas tries to get control, but has to be a bit quicker here. Maybe with the double, looking for it, Rawas! That is insane!
What is that, mate? That is just ludicrous. So much pace on that initial contact over to the backboard, and you could see as the camera just beautifully panned around to give us that lovely cinematic angle. You just knew he was going to score as soon as that first touch was found.
You knew it was happening. At the speed, at the way he does it, it's just so insane to see. it deserves to go to the major. I want Rule 1 at the major. It's no lie that I want Rule 1 at the major, but they need to clean this type of stuff up, though, because Senzo cannot have a free shot like this uncontested.
Yeah, definitely not, and it's actually maybe a miscommunication there between Kalias and Rawas, which really did just force the issue there, as I believe that was more so of an own goal than anything else, and a little bit of clumsiness. And for a Rule 1 side, which has been just coming alive in this particular regional, I don't want to be seeing any more like that really find their way in, Spook.
Speaking of coming to life, Senzo, where was this against Twisted, against Infinity? I'm losing my breath even. I'm losing the way to speak here, because you watched the last series. Against Infinity, Senzo was not able to find the back of the net at all. He was struggling to get those good shots going. Here, he does it like it's nothing.
Yeah, that was an absolutely beautiful finish, it has to be said. And I think Samor was really that playmaker in the previous series against Infinity, which was able to create so many chances and just goal-scoring opportunities as a result of that individual brilliance. But at the end of the day, against a Rule 1 side like you were mentioning, Spooks, it shouldn't be that simple to get past them. But we're about to see a possible fifth, as Kalias is required to make a last-ditch effort there.
Bit of a heavy touch from Venom, too far away for his teammate to get anything really good out of this. As the passing play comes out from Rule 1, they find one another. Can they find the goal? It's a beautiful play from one to the other, back again to the one. And you see this, this is rocking. This is what you like to see, the passing play.
That was perfect. That was absolutely sublime. And I would love the chance to break a play like that down, because you could just see that Rule 1, they were connected. They knew exactly what they needed to do to put that ball away. The free space so often given for the pass across, and I think that was maybe 5 or 6 touches across between all those players. Such a beautiful piece of work.
They need to do it once again. This is one that goes onto the backboard. 10 seconds left. Within those 10 seconds, we need to see Rule 1 bounce back, get another goal to bring us to overtime, to even get a chance at beating Twisted Minds here in game number 1. It's not looking likely, as this ball goes up into the air. It's Rawas hitting it forward once again. Senzo has an easy time, takes control, tries to drop it on down, stays above it, and the 50 of your dreams.
And Senzo is doing exactly what Samor seemed to be doing in that previous series, because I remember a dunk and a flip reset dunk actually very similar from Samor, but alas, it really doesn't matter who's putting it away. Twisted Minds off to an absolutely flying start.
And I will take my hat off, if I was wearing one, for Twisted Minds, because my goodness, they surprised me here. I did not expect to see this coming out of them. And in particular, like I said, Senzo, 4 goals to his name. I'm quite sure that is more than he scored in the entire series against Infinity.
Yeah, and it just seems as if they have found maybe a missing piece to the puzzle almost, that they might have been lacking earlier on in this competition in the upper bracket, when of course they had the absolute stiffest competition against the likes of Team Falcons, for example, where they did fall in that massive sweep up there. But moving down to this situation here in the lower bracket, when pressure is maybe an all-time high, to really come out with a performance that strong on your first showing against one of the new top teams, that's a massive statement, isn't it?
Yes, but it is Senzo. Let us not forget, Senzo is one of the top players in MENA. He's been that for one of the longest times. And right now, he has a team with him. Like I said, Samar is nuts. Genuinely, that may be one of the best players that is not in Rule 1 or Falcons right now, if not the best player. So it's not surprising, but the way Senzo has come forward in this game so far has been sensational. It's something that I've missed of him ever since he subbed in for Falcons during a major. This is what we want to see from him. Can he do it again, though?
Well, certainly it seems as if he's setting himself up for a path of consistency and destruction in this series, as Senzo is now going to be the player on many people's eyes, myself included, as we are already deep into game 1. We've got some more through the skies this time around. What's he got to offer? Sadly, nothing past that first defender, but again, Twisted Minds on the front foot.
Rawas tries to find the control, but can't do it, and it's once again into the orange half. Rawas once again gets a touch, but it's still no control for anyone. Venom tries to find the control, but has to be just taking enough with a 50 this time around. Savas. I'm losing my way to speak right now, Psycho, with the way things are going, as Venom gets another goal.
Venom gets another goal, and this one was completely out of the blue. Mozin has just let this one settle in his front post there. He thought he had so much more time than was actually given, and Twisted Minds very quick to punish there.
That's exactly what you need to see from Twisted Minds. Quick to punish, not letting Rule 1 get away with any mistakes. As we see the ball going into the middle once again, clears, hits it to the side, looking for a second touch, does find it, but not do anything or anyone. Venom just has an easy time taking control here. 50 once again in the midfield, and we see the ball once again. Twisted Minds finds the way to take control in this hectic series.
Hectic series it has been, and Rule 1 may be looking to add a bit more chaos to the mix, but unfortunately 2 players committed still couldn't push the ball even past 1 defender, and now Twisted Minds back in the comfort zone as Senzo. Very, very simple, controlled play in the corner. It's comfortable at the moment for them.
The Maw trying to break through once again, can't do it this time around, blocked by Clears. It's Senzo, 0 boost to his name, does get something out of it, but eventually the ball does get cleared, and there was a mistake, a misser coming out, and it makes Twisted Minds be able to set themselves up for another opportunity to break forward once again. It does feel like Rule 1 is just making a lot of individual mistakes.
Maybe so, yeah, and I think it's these all-important gaps which Rule 1 seem to be giving away here, as they can't seem to lock in that aggression as they did so often against that Falcon side as this ball drops down, but unfortunately no quick punish for Rule 1 as Mozin still trying to work the ball forwards. The shot on target, but a crucial save made as Rawas still through the skies trying to find a first.
And you saw Master trying to set up his team this time around. Does he find the net? Yes, he does. The passing plays from Rule 1 cannot be stopped.
And it seemed as if Twisted Minds were just caught in a trap there by the front post of their net. All 3 blue players forced to wait, forced to suffer, and Rule 1, so quick that piece of work was.
Taking it slow, taking it easy. So Ma, what can you do? Well, not too much this time around. Has to be careful though, because the ball goes towards its own net. Venom hits it on high. No one to be found, no one there to help him out, but apart from maybe a quick chance, that could have gone in, but they have to go back because Rule 1 looking for the counter.
Whoa, that's a strong shot and an equally strong save there to see away that almost finished second, as Rule 1 now definitely going to have the favourable stint of possession here, I'm sure, with this loose ball. But Senzo very quick to it, and Kalia's almost just resting himself at his own defence here, as maybe now on the counter, an infield option in Kalia's found. He's taken it over to the backboard, lets this one go. Was a smart call there, but Samor did well to see it coming.
The ball going up, Venom to the side. As there was once again trying to find a shot. Kalias has to be covered though, and a double commit with Maassen. Not what you like to see. Senzo looking for the transition, not being able to find it. It's Kalias. Has control, has the flip reset, has the shot, but blocked off in time. Was there to help out, takes a slow touch, tries to get it below, does get it past 1, but not past the second.
Not past the second, and Samor's taken it past 2 of his own as Rawas forced into a quick commit there. This looks wide open almost, as Rule 1 just clambering back to their own back lines. They're desperate in their offensive pushes, in their counter-attacking efforts, and you almost have to worry for them when stuff gets loose like that.
50 in the middle, and the demo does not help out for Rule 1. They have to be careful right now as Samar finds this second for Twisted Minds.
Absolute poetry for Twisted Minds as they could see the patterns emerging. It's a very similar attack to their near miss on the previous effort. 2-1 for Twisted Minds now. Rule 1, I'm sure they're thinking there's a lot more to give, but they don't have much time to do it.
Tries to go low, does go low, finds it past 1, but not past the second, and that's the typical problem we always see, and it seems to be the biggest problem right now for Rule 1. The second they get past 1, there's always a second, and Samar is the first to get it in front of the net, and Venom there to help him out. But 3-1, Rule 1, what are you doing?
And a crushing blow as the third sees its way home for Twisted Minds, and that is going to set alight the hearts and minds of some of the prodigies on this side. So if they could go on to potentially take this series, Twisted Minds would find themselves in a position which they've never been in before, Spooks.
Finals. A final. A grand final. Like I said, never been there before. So the nerves may be getting to them if they get into that position, or at least close to that position. But so far, they're doing a wonderful job. Senso tries to find the shot, cannot find connection. And that means that Ruaz gets the bump. It's Clears. Fast forward. Ruaz, can you help out? No, it's Senso once again blocking it off. Back into the middle we go. Maassen, not the touch you want. And that means that Samal can get the 50. And the time wasting has begun.
It definitely has. And this game might already just be done and dusted, regardless of any magical input from this Rule 1 side here. That is the second game chalked up for Twisted Minds. What an early performance they've given us. And just reflecting back on these last 2 games, Spooks, I think it's very fair to say they are the deserving side at the moment.
Yeah, that was the exact thing I was going to say as well. That, to me, it feels like Minds has been the better team coming out into this game. Game 1, it was Senso, 100%. But game 2, it felt like a full-on team effort from Twisted Minds. Whenever someone was doing something, there was a second man helping him out. There was a third man ready for whatever could happen. It felt like everyone was doing exactly what they needed to be doing. And Rule 1 doesn't seem to find an answer to it. And I would expect we're going to see timeout from Rule 1. It has not been confirmed yet, and I don't see anything appearing just yet, so I'm guessing not. But as Rule 1, you cannot wait until the last seconds now, or until Game 3.
Yeah, it's got to be a dangerous game to play to avoid that potential timeout. And I think in a situation like this, Rule 1, some of the manners in which they've been conceding potentially are going to be what comes to the forefront of your mind as a player and as a coach, especially when you're trying to sort of dig yourself out of these situations. I think they've been relatively straightforward in terms of figuring out a solution. We saw a couple cases, for example, where Rule 1 might have just been playing things a little too slowly in their backlines, where they thought they had time, they thought they had control, but alas, just wasn't meant to be, Spooks.
It just feels like Rule 1 is never ready for a mistake to come through or a demo happening. It seems like they're almost not aware that those things can happen to them, and that leads to them just being an easy target for goals that just should not be happening. As we do move on to game number 3, Psycho, will we see any change after 60 seconds?
Well, I think against a team as established, as reputable, and as deadly as Rule 1, you can only go on to expect a change as they take to the field now. There's going to be maybe some rejuvenation, the spirits of this side. I know it's been maybe just 60 seconds of play, but they're a team which has so much more to give, Spooks.
So much more to give, so much more to see, and so much more to do for Twisted Minds. But can it be done? Can it be done? Samal gets the ball forward once again. It's Venom looking to get it into the middle. It's Rawaz who has control, who finds the flip reset, maybe taking it a bit too slow, like you said. But so far, it's working out. The pass is into the middle. Can there be a shot? No, there will not be, because Venom finds an easy clear.
Oh my goodness, that's a magical pinch the direction of Twisted Minds once again. And oh my goodness, what is going on? It's absolute calamity.
It was open.
It was open.
I'm shocked. I'm lost for words as this ball goes on in. And Samal shows you how to finish off these opportunities. But Rule 1, it seems like they're playing around. And well, play around, find out. 1-0.
Oh my goodness. That is a stark reminder of if you give Twisted Minds even a hint, even a breath of space on the field, they can be so deadly. As that shot weaved its way in from absolutely nowhere, and now Senzo back on the attack. It looks as if Rule 1 still on the back foot. Venom infield, maybe a touch against that second defender in Mozen, but he's done well to settle this one in the corner.
Getting into the middle once again. Clear is not safe at all. Has to be careful. You see Venom dropping on down. Tries to get some control into this ball. It's Maassen awkwardly positioned. Rawaz gets the clear. The only one in my eyes that has been playing well for Rule 1, or at least up to their normal standards, has been Rawaz. The other two, in Maassen and Clears, they've made so many weird mistakes, so many weird small mishaps that you normally never see from them.
Yeah, and it proves that any team really is human, and on their day, the depth of this MENA region is proving that anyone really can make a statement to push for these sorts of grand final situations, as now with just over 3 minutes of play left, Twisted Minds, if they are to take this game, just think of how favoured they would be to take this series overall.
Yes, and knowing that if they lose this one, they have to reverse sweep, something we rarely see at this level against the best of sevens at SMW. Zama, I mean, trying to get the ball back into the middle once again, can't find a pass this time around. The zero boost in the tank is not going to lead to anything too wonderful, but does lead to the pass to Senzo, who finds the shot at least close to the target. Something Rule 1 is not able to say right now.
Yeah, this could be a nice infield pass. Oh, that's a lovely touch from Twisted Minds just to see the ball downfield. They're trying to breathe themselves fresh air every single time Rule 1 gets these counter-attacks going, and they're able to respond so quickly. But Mozin through the skies, that's one bump. Can he get a potential second? I'm not sure it's required.
Killers.
The ball has just magically found itself in the back of the net. Spooks.
What's Killers? What's Killers? He's on a hunt. He's awesome. And that is a beautiful play from Rule 1. But both you and I know, Psycho, is that recreatable? No.
It's tough to say, isn't it, Spooks? But I think if any team can recreate a situation like that, Rule 1 might be a side I have my money on. As at the back here, Mozin. I'm going to wait for this play to come forward, as Senzo can only thrive off individual efforts here. Now through the skies potentially soon. Kalias flicks this one high. There's no follow-up this time around, so Venom a comfortable clearance this time around. And as these seconds tick by, I think it's maybe favouring Rule 1 slightly more than it has been in the past.
Rule 1 has been taking some of that control back into their own hands, but not good enough. Senzo has the control, has the pass, has the goal because of Venom. And Twisted Minds, once again, the midfield pass working out.
That's just so well worked between those two players, and Senzo, full credit to him for cherry picking that player in Venom, dead centre of the field, and also baiting out that player on the wall in Ruas, who was just waiting, taking his time yet again. It's now Rule 1. They need to come up with something truly special here. The morale may be deflated now. Twisted Minds downfield. Can it be 3? Not quite that time around.
For a pass into the middle once again, but it was actually a solo play, and that's something Rule 1 has done so much. You know, when you try to pass, you do not want to bring the ball to someone, you want to hit it to them. And right now, Rule 1 is just trying to gift it to one another. Just being like, okay, I'll hand it over to you, but I'll bring it to your doorstep, and then even into your house. It needs to be given from a distance.
It really doesn't. It needs to be something that this Twisted Minds roster does not anticipate coming, and I think so far, Rule 1 have just been oh so readable, bar that demo play and that well-worked individual effort from Kalias. They haven't given us much to be scared of this game, and you can think that Twisted Minds have to be in a similar mindset.
Maybe Rule 1, the nerves are getting to them, knowing that if they make the finals this time around, they only need to do it once more to go to the major. And maybe that's getting to them. Maybe they are unsure of one another. Maybe they're unsure of themselves at this point. 2-1 down, 20 seconds to go. Psycho is not looking good.
It's not looking good for Rule 1, but if you're a Twisted Minds supporter, you're going to be absolutely elated by the scenes at the moment, as now Rule 1 on their final press forward. Zero boost in the tank as this ball is just forced to be let loose infield, and Twisted Minds yet again first to it. This game is done and dusted, Spooks. And match point for Twisted Minds, not just once, but a triple match point.
Don't ring the bells just yet. It's still up into the air. As Zama hitting the ball away, but not under control at all. The 50 goes high. Once again, that's in favor of Rule 1, but not in a position where they would want to be. The 50 again goes high. I've never seen this many 50s end up into a high ball. This one does go high again. Ruas looking for the transition, looking for his teammates, but no one there. Just that Minds take game number 3, and exactly the thing I said is gonna be happening. Rule 1 did not call the timeout, and now you only have to call it now. They do call it now, but it's too late in my eyes.
Yeah, I think it's too late as well, because Rocket League is just such a spontaneous game sometimes that there's many a time where goals just have to be let gone by, really, because there isn't anything you can do about it. You just have to look at it and think, yep, that happened. Let's move on. That's how spontaneous this esport can be. And if Rule 1, for example, cannot really just have a perfect series, a perfect set of 4 games on the trot, they could be in real trouble.
thing is, they need 4 perfect games after one another right now. No imperfections left onto the table. We did see glimpses of hope during this last game, during this game 3, but for a team in an esports that's so mentally taxing as Rocket League, to do 4 games perfect, one after another, is so tough.
It's tough beyond words, and I think Twisted Minds right now, the one thing that they need to do is not get too overconfident with themselves, but still maintain some of that class that we've seen in previous games. And ultimately, it's just not... the case is that they should not be changing the way they're thinking at the moment, because everything is working. They're firing on all cylinders. We can see that they're breaking down these individual efforts from Rule 1 with so much ease and so much tactical brilliance that really you can only just pat them on the back for it.
On the Rule 1 end, though, it's something we both already said. They need to speed up. There needs to be coming some type of speed into the gameplay of Rule 1. We saw it before during these matches where when they sped up, when they went for quick plays, quick passes to one another instead of bringing it to one another, they were getting goals. They were getting insanely beautiful passing plays. Where is that? Why can't you do that for a full 50 minutes long? 5 minutes long, not 50. 50 would be hard.
50 would be tricky, but again, it's a roster which probably could get that done. But you're absolutely right in saying that. We've not seen some of those beautiful infield plays, for example, that Rule 1 gave us early on in this series, where they connected maybe 5 or 6 passes on the trot, I believe, in the 4-3 defeat at the end of the day to Twisted Minds. And again, some of those concessions were ones that Rule 1 really would have wanted to forget.
Will Twisted Minds finish off Rule 1 here, getting this sweep, or will Rule 1 come back? It's Rawaz trying to create the first goal for Rule 1, create the first opening, but so far blocked off. And this one, 50 down low,
no
and
way.
There is the shot, the counter! It is on point with these passing plays from Twisted Minds.
The counter cannon from Samor has put in a first that he is going to be absolutely proud of. 143 kph, and regardless of what you have to say about the Rule 1 defense there, that is a wicked start for Twisted Minds.
And we've said it before, whenever there's a timeout called, it rarely leads into a win for the team calling the timeout. Rule 1, I'm not sure if you're going to be taking the dub here when things like this are happening. 2 demos, and gone is the offensive attack from Rule 1. They have to go back. They have to try and regather themselves, regather some boost. Senzo, 50-50 going in his favor as well, into the corner. It's Clears with the pass to Rawaz. Rawaz goes high, but no boost in the tank, but does find the bump. But there's Venom, easily under control.
Easily under control, and maybe Rule 1 overstepping their lines there at the back as Mozin was forced into a retreat by his own back corner. What is that touch from Twisted Minds as Venom through the skies? Can he get a touch infield just to drop it down and make the defense think? That's the name of the game at the moment for Twisted Minds. Keep catching Rule 1 off guard.
Over a minute has already passed. Time goes by quick when you're playing like Twisted Minds is right now. But they have to be careful of the counterattack, and it's not in. It's onto the post. No worries for Twisted Minds. Sama, once again, on 3 offense. Rawaz to the side, Clears in defense. What can you do? You have to be careful. Venom goes high. Onto the backward we go. The 50 into the hands of Venom once more. No boost in the tank, but does find the pass. But no one there to shoot it on target.
On there to shoot it on target, and Twisted Minds in a beautiful position to launch a counter-attack as well, as that's a nice connection in field and a demo as well, just to add to the suffering of Rule 1. That shot is off target though, and maybe Twisted Minds could have poached home a second there.
And they're still right there to do it. They still want that second. Senzo hits it high, no boost in the tank, meaning this offensive attack will die down. Rawaz hits the ball away, finally some speed coming through. Clears. Into the middle we go, but blocked off easily by Senzo once again. Hits it into the middle. There's a follow-up coming through, and a double commit coming out from Twisted Minds. Demo there to help out, but Rule 1 still unable to break through.
Oh!
As I say, of course.
I feel that you just spoke a little too spoon.
Too spoon, thank you.
Too soon, Spooks. That's a difficult one to say, but Kalias, nonetheless, has done a difficult job of his own to find home a first, Spooks.
Beautiful. As I go by Spoons now, thank you very much for naming me. Rawaz dropping it on down as he wants to name this series his own. Senzo dropping it straight on down, looking to get another touch, not able to do so. Clears Goes for the slow play. Was actually the right decision, but still not able to break through. You see the ball stuck in the blue corner. Once again, the corner's being played to a team right now by Rule 1, but eventually the breakthrough comes through.
Breakthrough comes through, but Rule 1 are going to really struggle to get to this ball first, and Twisted Mind's in a perfect position to deal with the attack yet again as Senzo. You can see how much space he's being afforded on the field. Rule 1 really just sitting back, not encroaching forward with as much pace as perhaps they could. It's a really quick shot laced down towards net, but Rule 1 with a crucial save.
The nerves, they're definitely not there. They are there, I mean, from Rule 1. As we see, Twisted Minds, knowing they have pretty much no shot at the major, they can take it a bit easier, a bit calmer. Rule 1 on the other end, they're nervy, they're panicking. But right now they're making Twisted Minds panic. Onto the defensive end, a minute and a half left to go. The clear comes through, but Ruaz hits it high. Onto the backward we go, can't find the touch himself. No one really finds the control right there. And it means it's still a bit of a panicky game.
A little bit panicky, and you can also see the Twisted Minds defense is actually being unraveled by these continuous attacks for maybe the first time all series long, as Rule 1 did almost find a foothold in that attack long term. An infield ball could also be a little bit of danger for Twisted Minds here, but Mozen over to the backboard. Again, little whiffs coming through from Twisted Minds, but still calm and calculated in their approach.
He's going high with the flip reset, gets the control, but just wastes the flip so early on in the control play. And that means that his team is now back onto the back foot we go. Venom goes high. This ball drops in front of Ruaz. Has the control. This ball goes high once again. Ruaz there again to help out his team. The ball into the middle we go. Demo is coming through. Rule 1 has the transition though, all because of Ruaz.
All because of Ruaz, and now all because of Venom. Twisted Minds have already reached the halfway mark, and Senzo going to take this one high. It's actually gone in favor of Kalias, but no options. Everything has to be individual for Rule 1 at the moment to even break past this halfway point.
Still at a 1-1 tied game. Venom gets the demo, opens up the defensive hold that Rule 1 has been holding themselves to, but this ball drops into the air actually. It isn't down just yet, and then we do get ourselves an overtime. Game 4, do or die for Rule 1. Making their chance at the major a bit easier would be done if they win here.
One goal separates Twisted Minds from their first Grand Finals appearance. And unfortunately that one was just not enough. There's 2 blue players required to look away an early first goal. Potentially Kalias infield drops it down, but Senzo quick to react, and now straight back on the counter. You can see Rule 1 with a bit more aggression, and Kalias, a very difficult task to get this one away. It's not enough. It's simply not enough, because Venom through the skies has beaten 2 players. Senzo back downfield, the connection's found, and Twisted Minds find themselves a grand final.
The connections from Twisted Minds, it has been found every time this series. It's like they knew what was going to happen before it happened. And most of all, Twisted Minds is going to their first grand final of the season.
A grand finals made through a sweep against Rule 1. Now, I don't know about you, but to me that's quite the statement. And I don't think the journey ends quite here yet for Twisted Minds. As much as we're going to celebrate the fact that they've made that grand final, Spooks, there's another formidable opponent in front of them. And honestly, after what they just gave us, in that particular matchup, anything really is possible.
Anything really is possible, but if they're able to take down the Giants, the Kings of MENA, we'll have to wait after this break.